Hey, you're listening to Pink Pantyhose, where comedy meets feminism. I'm your host, Naya, and thank you all for listening to my podcast. You can do anything with your ears. You can clean your ears, you can pierce your ears. But the fact that you're giving me your ears to listen to my podcast, I greatly appreciate it. So today, before we jump into the podcast episode, you know we have to handle our business. I need y'all to subscribe, like, share, comment, leave some reviews, share it with your homies, even leave a little hateration, because are you really popping if you don't have haters? Nah, for real. Y'all know that everything can be rainbows and butterflies, so even the constructive criticism I welcome help make me better. But today, we are celebrating Sagittarius season. So for those of you who don't know about zodiac signs, Sagittarius season is late November, early December, and Sagittarius that's super special to me and will always, to the day I die, is Nicki Minaj, aka Nicki Minaj, Harajuku Barbie, Miss Monica Lewinsky, or Onika Mirage on her birth certificate. And today's feminist lesson is girls need diverse role models. So I've always loved Nicki Minaj since back in the day. Now, won't lie, I did fall out of love with her in 2010 when she went mainstream after the song Monster with Rick Ross, Jay-Z, and Kanye, because I feel like she lost her mixtape flavor. And on top of that, 2 years back, she beefing with Cardi B. Like, Cardi B, Nicki Minaj. I love all y'all. Like, why can't we be friends? Why can't we be friends? Okay, but nonetheless. But as a tourist, I'm loyal, like nobody's business, ride or die, and I will always have allegiance to Nicki Minaj because she played a huge role in my development as a teen girl, trying to discover herself, trying to explore and discover her sexuality. So I discovered Nicki Minaj back in 2007, 2008, when I was a sophomore, junior in high school. And I remember showering at night, getting ready for school the next day, and listening to Power 92 if you're in the Chicagoland area, hip hop, street music on the radio. Side note, say a prayer for me. The fact that I'm alive, Jesus is real, because I would turn the radio knob with wet hands. Of course, the radio broke, but the fact that I'm alive and not electrocuted, Jesus be the reason. But nonetheless, I remember getting ready at night in the bathroom and then hearing the DJs talk about her, like, oh my gosh, there's this new female artist, Nicki Minaj, blah, blah, blah. And then they will make commentary on her last name, like Minaj, Menage a Trois, women. Is she gay? Is she a lesbian? Is she just freaky? Is she bi? Blah, blah, blah. And the rumors, of course, the rumors are true now, but the rumors about her body, like, is it real? Is it fake? Blah, 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 blah. You know, everyone wants to gossip about everyone. But when I heard her on the Shopaholic song with Gucci and Bobby V, she got a shopping problem, she is a shopaholic, all of that, I was like, oh my gosh, she is so cool, because I love hip hop, poetry, rhyming, and then anything related to women. So the fact that there was a new female artist doing hip hop, I was like, oh my gosh. Because at the time, there was Missy Elliott. She was doing her thing, and then Shauna would get in some. But besides that, there wasn't that too many women rappers. And then, of course, Crime Mob with Diamond and Princess. I don't even know. So once I was introduced to Nicki Minaj, I just got obsessed. Like, anything I love, I fully absorb. I was watching the interviews on YouTube, listening to the interviews on 106 in Park, listening to her music on the radio, everything, YouTube, anything with Nicki Minaj. And I got so obsessed with her that I started making Facebook statuses with her verses. You know, you got to do that. And then I even painted my toenails pink, y'all, because of the song I Get Crazy. She was like, I got a couple pink toes in my sandals and some bangles, wrap them around my ankles, star-studded, star-spangled, whatever. Y'all know what I'm saying. If you know, then you know. And it was to the point, I remember being in high school, going into the locker room, and girls like, oh my gosh, Nicki Minaj, blah, blah, blah. I was like, y'all don't know. Y'all know mainstream Nicki on the radio. Y'all not fans like me. We always get like that, y'all. With our favorite artists, we don't want them to go mainstream. We want to keep them underground. underground. And I would even defend Nicki Minaj. I would hate when men would hate on her. They were like, she only talks about sex and blah blah blah. A whole bunch of weak rappers, like this guy who I was talking to, who I ended up having sex with, family members, this one guy who I only went with one date on. They were all offended that I like Nicki Minaj. Like, she's trash, she's garbage, blah 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 blah. But so are you. Your lyrics are not fire. And she had an advantage being one of the few female rappers because we took what we got. Of course, she's not the best lyricist, but she definitely had her puns. She definitely had her bars. You know, not the most poetic, but her and like just Young Money with Drake and Lil Wayne, they definitely, their metaphor game was on point. And I gravitated toward Nicki Minaj because coming up, Michelle Obama and Beyonce were two of the main black female figures. And they're dope. I respect them now. But back in the day, they got too much hype for me. I couldn't relate to them. You know, Beyonce, her work ethic on point. I dare you to say you work harder than Beyonce. But I feel like she got too many fans. She do not need me to be a fan of her. And then Michelle Obama. Like, I started gravitating toward Michelle Obama like 2-3 years ago when she had her initiative Let Girls Learn, and she was just talking about her come up in undergrad and with law school and her having to work. I was like, okay, I can dig it. But back then I couldn't relate to them because here were these, what I assumed to be perfect, classy, poised, married, beautiful women. And when I was coming up in high school, I had a low self-esteem because starting out in my high school career, I was sexually promiscuous, exploring my sexuality, slut shame like no other, to the point where I wanted to take my life. Like, my peers talking about me behind my back, my family being embarrassed about me. So I couldn't relate to these poised, beautiful, classy women. Like, I felt like a hoe. So when Nicki Minaj came out, I was like, I can dig it. You're talking my language. Swallow what? Suck what? Do this and that and what? Okay, I'm with it. So that's the main reason I love Nicki Minaj, is because she opened the gates and seized the day. No, but she opened the gates and let me know that it's okay. As a girl, you can be freaky, you can be ambitious, you can get down like these guys can. And of course, her legendary song, well, her legendary remix or feature, Gucci, Freaky Girl. Very freaky girl. Okay, what can I say? How do I kick it off? How will I come all over and then I'll get off? Oh my gosh. Just the memories. And then the next reason why I love Nicki Minaj, the grind, her money process, like getting paper. Of course, one of my favorite verses, like all time, is her remix, is Getting Paid. It's going down, down Barbie, pushing up Pink Ferrari. I raced through Africa just to see bloopers, just to see the safari. I am the baddest in America. Y'all, don't get me started. But not only was she talking about being sexually free, but getting her money. And this was a big deal because when I was in high school, I was definitely very ambitious, honor student, all that. So it was that balance of, yeah, you can get your freak on, but be about your paper, be about your goals too. And her having to come up, like, hip hop in general is a beast, like, to come up. But then as a woman, you know, she had to fight for that because a lot of men, you try to do business with them and they trying to get their toes tickled, and her having to prove herself. And I loved how she came out because she was featured on so many different songs. And you don't get invited as features if you're trash. Either you gonna throw up some paper or you got some good relationship building skills. So the fact that she was on Break Up, the remix with Mario and Gucci, Hello Good Morning with Diddy, Rick Ross and T.I., of course Lil Wayne, Lollipop, and then Young Money with Bedrock, all of that, like, that was a product of her building those relationships, spending that money, just getting herself out there. So that was the era where it was feature season, remix season, like that's how you got your name out there. So Nicki Minaj, T-Pain, Lil Wayne, all that stuff. So she just helped me stay focused in school. Like, get your money, get your paper. And I'll never forget, one of my favorite verses was Kill the DJ. And she was like, Don't F a dude if a dude don't pay. Don't suck a dude if a dude dirty. And I remember this guy I was talking to for a minute, on again, off again. He was not the most consistent, toxic city. Just, oh. But I remember I was like, no, don't give him sex because Nicki Minaj said if you're not throwing out any money, you don't need to do it with him. And then lastly, of course, Nicki Minaj. I love her because she got me through breakups. She helped me build my confidence and just have a solid self-esteem. So that same guy I was telling y'all about, who wasn't too much of nothing, he always talked about sex. He was verbally abusive, trying to get his toes tickled, like just projecting his insecurities on me. It was on again, off again, on again, off again. And I was attached to him. But the song by Nicki Minaj that got me through it was Breakup. And she was featured on that song with Mariah Carey. It's not chipped, it's not cracked, oh, we're shattered. And I like both verses, but definitely the second verse. And when she said, oh, that's what he left, let his mama pick it up. I'll back up on it, vroom, vroom, with a pickup truck in the blue and yellow. That's the car, mellow chain, something like that. And basically just telling him to get up out your face. Like, yeah, you was popping back then with me, but don't be crying, don't be begging me, don't be in my face now that I moved on, that I elevated. So I appreciate Nicki Minaj. And every time I think of that song, I think of that guy. Was just her letting me know, sis, it's okay. Like, guys are going to mess up, do they stupid stuff, but you be stronger and you kick them to the curb. Because back then, I was taking anything I could get. So all in all, Nicki Minaj is an amazing, ambitious person who has definitely put her all into her career, and I wish her the best. And for anyone listening to this, I want to encourage you all to make sure you show girls and present girls with a variety of role models. Every girl cannot aspire to the marriage and the kids and the picket fence and all that. Some girls need to see that teenage mom on the come up. They need to see that sexually promiscuous woman who's about her bag, being ambitious. So they need to see that woman of different colors, different hair textures, and all that. Like, we can't have one size fits all when it comes to role models, y'all. We need to inspire these girls by showing them diverse images and allowing them the freedom to pick and like put together their ideal role models. So that's my podcast. Thank you all for listening. You can hit me up on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter at NIGH_YUH, basically the phonetic way of saying Naya, or Facebook, Naya Brooks, all that jazz. So thank you all for listening to Thank you all for listening to Pink Pantyhose, where comedy meets feminism. Until next time, bye.